Hello YouTube, this is Weston at Weston's Toys and Collectibles, and today we're going to look at the Transformers Siege Generations, or War for Cybertron Siege Ultra Magnus. This is was the Autobot leader from the first wave. I finally got my hands on this guy secondhand, so I don't have a box, but I do have instructions. So his instructions basically a large fold out, unlike some of the others, and then have his kind of weapon specs here. The RT-15 stethoscopic detector. Okay. WHV simulacrum blaster, and a C-30 magnetic inducer launcher. Just kind of weird names for the weapons and stuff. And then of course it's all his effects parts can all the effects parts can fit on him. You can also use the Micro Masters and Battle Masters with him, all that jazz. Alright, so here he is in his truck mode. I'm not going to do any vehicle comparisons. I just don't really have anybody in vehicle mode right now. It rolls very nicely, and all the wheels seem to touch the surface. This one doesn't roll as easily as the others. On the other side, you can see, all the wheels roll pretty well. Again, I have an issue with this front one here. The wheels, the hubs are actually painted, which is nice. Here's the front. And actually, I do want to do a quick comparison because this is like an homage to the Transformers Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus, which I have right here in vehicle mode. So you can kind of see the fronts of the vehicles, how that's an homage to that. You can see like the shape of the side of the trailer. The 10 wheels. The unfortunate thing is he doesn't have the like, this can't come down as a ramp, and he can't hold any cars inside of him. Maybe Micro Masters, but that's about it. So pretty cool. This is significantly larger. But yeah, so pretty cool. Weapon or accessories. He has two of these, and they're opposite sides. On the other side, it's just hollow plastic. Painted silver on the tips, and it's got two 5mm ports, and then this are 5mm pegs, and that's a 5mm port and a 5mm port. And it shows, these can go just anywhere on this thing here if you want. I don't really like these ones, but they can go wherever. It also comes with these missiles, and they're also basically molded the same but mirrored and hollow on the other side. And these ones go here, and like that. And then he comes with this, which is like very similar to his G1 rifle. It's red plastic, silver paint. This is white plastic, red paint, and black with silver paint on the tip. And this can just kind of go in top here, or in the back if you want. You can go back there as well. And he does have 5mm ports, all over, but only a few of them are actually accessible here, like these two on top. He's got a 3mm port here, if that serves any purpose as well. And then this is a port as well, but whether that serves a purpose for you or not is, you know, that's more for robot mode with a weaponizer. The port's here, but you can't really access them well. He does have quite a few of the weapon or the effect piece pegs. He's got 2 here, 2 here that would be accessible, and then 2 on the back that would also be accessible. Any on top? I don't see any on top. Well, I guess the smokestacks here. And of course all the weapons are, you know, 5mm ports, and then the 3mm peg. Alright, so he does have a second weapon, or second vehicle mode. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the accessories now and set those off to the side. Basically you're just going to strip down the trailer, pull the trailer off, and it's just basically stripping him down to the truck cab. And it's not very good. The arms are just sticking out the back, the feet are just sticking out the back. Like from this angle it looks decent, but if you get to the side it's just like, what is going on here? Does not look very good from the side. But yeah, generally you're gonna want to have his trailer on him because Ultra Magnus always had this trailer attached. So that's how you're gonna want him all the time. But this is our segue into transforming this thing. So after I'm done transforming, I will compare him to the other cab Ultra Magnus we've gotten in the past, but split the legs apart, pull them down, nice ratcheting joints, flip out these heel spurs, stand him up. Alright, now you can go ahead and pull this open and get the head out, and then flip the arms out, and those lock into place very securely. Rotate the upper torso around, slide this up that channel, and you see how it lines up. You want to make sure it's lined up, and then you can slide it up. Also, like, it can just come off as well, so be wary of that. And then just push his upper torso back, locks into place, bring his arms down, and there he is in robot mode. He looks decent. He looks kind of fat. I think it's mostly the thighs and the waist. I understand why he had to be, you know, have these kind of odd proportions here. He just looks chunky. And here he is with the Classics Ultra Magnus, and you can see they're about the same size. I do like that they did the blue faceplate and blue on the crest on this one, rather than just silver faceplate and the white painted crest. And they look pretty cool next to each other. I also like the teal on this one. But yeah, they look really, really cool. About the same height, same, you know, yeah, pretty much the same exact height. The proportions on this are a lot better though, but he does also have these huge chunks of truck hanging off his arms. But this does look really good, proportion wise, compared to this. So we're going to go ahead and compare this guy with another Siege figure. Here he is with Springer. You can see it's about a little bit taller than Springer. It looks like a completely different aesthetic to this. Just looking at this and this is clearly pure G1. This is very stylized. But that being said, like, the body seems more stylized. The head is very G1 Optimus. And looks really nice. So that looks pretty cool. And then here he is with Galvatron from the Titans Return line. You can see Galvatron is about a head taller. You know, he comes up to Galvatron's chin. This is a Shapeways helmet for this figure. I also got the arm connector. Alright, so I guess the only thing left to do now is to set him off to the side. Actually, we can get him ready first. So to get him ready for his armor, you want to flip the heel spurs back in. Pop open these so you can flip his head back in. Lock that back up. Bring the whole torso forward just slightly so that you can push this down. This piece here gets in the way, so once it's pushed back it can't slide. It kind of just like will lock that in place right there. And then take this down, rotate, and push it back up. And now he's ready for his armor. So we're going to bring the trailer back in, and this is going to just be completely torn apart. So you want to pull the sides out all the way. That's a very kind of a stiff connection just between this slot here and then this peg, like an I-beam peg. Same on the other side, just kind of pull this apart. There's also a tab on the shoulder armor that goes into this little slot here. Where my thumb's at. And then this, I believe is it that one? Oh no, it's right here. This little section plugs into these tabs here on the side. So there's a series of tabs and just little slots for it to go in. Alright, so kind of pull this out of the way. You can pretty much take these off here. It's a bit of a clip system that locks in pretty securely. And then you want to go ahead and take his leg armor apart. Now basically free this up. There's just 3 tabs that sit in this slot and then this groove here. Alright, for the legs, you'll have to do a little bit of prep work. So basically you want to fold this panel in, fold it back here, fold this around all the way like that, and fold that down like that. So you're in this L configuration. And then that will wrap around the leg, and this top and bottom slots will go over these 2 tabs and hold in securely. That's one leg. The other leg's basically exactly the same. Just, fold this up just like so, and then tab it in. With this, you can do a little prep work. You gotta take these pieces off. They're just held on with a 5mm port and plug. And I think that's about it. You can go ahead and flip these up a little bit, not all the way. So now we just put all of his armor on. So the legs just slide in. This clip will go into these 2 slots here. I think that's pretty much, well, this tab here will also go into this slot on top. And then this tab, or this little nub will go into right underneath this lip here. Or this lip here, I mean. Alright, so that's both the legs done. And you can see the leg proportions are already a bit better. Go ahead and open these up. And there's a port here, or a plug here, I mean. That's going to go on the outside and go into this port here on the arm. And then go ahead and close that back up around the arm. Do the same thing on the other side. Close that up around the arm. These will go over the smokestacks. You want to come in from the side and then flip up the little gray piece all the way. So come in from the side, and this will actually kind of tab into the white plug there, or the white tab you saw. Alright, and then finally, you're going to take this piece, flip this down, take this piece, flip this around like so, and then you got these two clips, and that'll go right onto the spine here. Locks on there nice and securely. These two tabs here and here will go into the slots here on the shoulders. Let's just bring that down. And then finally, there's two tabs here and here. They'll go into these two slots here and here. And just bring that down, and it's all locked into place. And there is Ultra Magnus, all armored up. And it looks really, really cool. I didn't go over articulation in the other mode because it stays the same in this mode. Actually, to a surprising degree. The head was on a ball joint, which this head is also on a ball joint. So the head's on a ball joint. And actually looking in there, oh, it's fairly large. Okay, it's just a really large ball joint inside the head. Arms rotate 360 degrees. Go all the way out that far. Rotate at the bicep. Bend 90 degrees. And then rotate at the wrist. He has a waist rotation. And that can go 360 degrees if you need it to. Soft ratchet to the side. Oh, I'm not sure if it's a ratchet or if it's just kind of the weird friction in there. But when it gets to this point, it's kind of like a little loose, but once it's out here, it's tight, which is kind of odd. Rotation around it, forward on a ratchet, and then it goes back. It goes back more in the mode without armor, but you don't need it to really go back anymore. In this mode anyway. Knee is 90 degrees. You move this out, you can see it's actually 90 degrees. And so that's knee joint. And then these can go all the way. They're at an A stance, like a natural A stance. But like they will, you know, go flat all the way out to there, and then if you push them, kind of just click them past, they will go flat all the way out to here. So if you ever need to do a full Van Damme pose, like so, yeah, he can do that. Alright, so accessories. It shows putting these on the sides. I probably won't display him with these ever, but they can just kind of go in the sides here. He can also hold them if you want him to. They look kind of ridiculous if he's holding them like that. So yeah, but they usually just want you to put them on the side of the legs. It just kind of bulks it out, makes it. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. Your toy, display as you want, but. And then the missiles, you can either put them on like this, which that's how they kind of show it. I prefer to put them on the opposite sides down. It doesn't hinder the articulation too much. He can't go all the way out with his arms, but I wouldn't do that anyway with how I display him. And then finally, this rifle just goes in his hand. So there he is, all armored, all armed. Pretty cool. He doesn't gain a whole lot of height. He gains maybe 3/4 of an inch of height on the foot, and then the only height he gains up top is here, on these stacks or towers, whatever. The head's a little bit taller than the other head too as well. It's a very nice head sculpt on this figure as well. I do wish that it was light piped. Yeah, because he's got painted eyes, but they're so deep you can't really see them in there. They're painted a nice they're painted a nice little blue color in there, but with the shadow you can't really see them. So here he is now next to Springer. You can see quite a bit taller than Springer now. Not quite as tall as an old leader class, but probably closer to like an older Voyager. And just to show that, here is the Voyager Voyager Galvatron next to him, so you can see they're about the same height. This does have a lot more bulk to it, a lot more weight. This is very light and doesn't feel like it's built to the same quality as this, but I think they look all right next to each other. And also like wobble, 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 wobble. He does not like to stand very well. But I think they look good together. If they had the battle. I might paint his face a more metallic silver than that plastic, because that flat plastic silver doesn't really match up with this aesthetic as well. But otherwise, you can always recreate the scene where he gets blown apart. Well, sort of. Just kind of have all the armor just sitting off to the side, and then have the white, Optimus just somewhere else. So, do I recommend this figure? I do. I think he is great. It took me a while to pick him up because, I couldn't find him, and when I did see him in stores, I didn't have the money for him, so it's like I finally picked him up secondhand at a a secondhand toy collectible store. But he's a fairly cool figure. Much better than the Parallax armor, in my opinion. The Fans Project City Commander. Much better than that, in my opinion. So definitely, if you see him, pick him up. Because this is a really, really nice figure, in my opinion. So this has been Weston's Toys and Collectibles, and this is Transformers Siege Ultra Magnus. And until next time, till all are one.